trophies have been handed out, the nets have been cut, and we are headed to the Final Four. While it may not be at UD Arena this year because of the new 7-division format, we will have previews of every single division in this video, all the way from 1 to 7. That means we got 28 teams, 14 matchups. Drop a comment. We're going to do our best to get a quick whip around to every single team we can. If there is anything we missed in the video, please let us know in the comments below. And as always, please drop the subscribe. Let's get after it. Put 8 on the clock. The Revenge Tour, it's complete. Comment your picks as we get into the case of Aiken, who we last saw on this channel suffering a crushing buzzer beater loss to close out the regular season, but now are riding high after that very same Trotwood team. They took them down in the Elite 8 on Sunday as Jaden Arnold and James Burnett shined once again. Now all that awaits them before a title game is Sandusky, a 19-7 Blue Streak squad that played a monster non-conference schedule and will give Aiken a great test. While averaging 70 points per game, they're led by Jason Hanlon, Kobe Brown, and Amir Aaron, a trio that accounts for around 60% of their scoring on the year. This will be an intriguing game as the middle part of a Wright State triple header on Sunday. And welcome back to the Final Four, Sonny Johnson. Garfield Heights is back in the state semifinal round for the first time since 2016 when Frankie Hughes and Willie Jackson led the Bulldogs to the D1 Final Four. But now they're in Division 3 led by future Buckeye Marcus Johnson. Johnson and Garfield have been so close in the past couple years getting back to the Final Four. Now they'll have a shot against a really good Louisville team that's making their first ever appearance in the Final Four. The Leopards, they are rolling right now, holding off a very scrappy and talented Heartland team and a pseudo road game in Columbus at the fairgrounds to get here, as Braden Gross dominated on the glass like he has all year, nearly averaging a triple-double with 18 points and 9 rebounds per game. This might be the most complete Final Four of all the 7 divisions, with each team having a legit path to the title. Look who is back. After an impressive run in Division 2 a season ago, making it to the title game, Maysville is once again in the Final Four. Gator Nichols has stepped his game up to a whole new level, and the Panthers have followed suit, steamrolling everyone outside of Tri-Valley for the last 2+ months of the year. The combined record of Maysville and their opponent, Cincinnati, Wyoming, is 50-5, and these two have been the class of Division 4 all season long. Wyoming comes in with an impressive resume of their own, handling teams throughout all 7 divisions this year. Guard Kellen Wiley leads the team in scoring with 17 points per game, but 4 guys average double figures, and this team has been hard to handle for any opponent in Southwest Ohio. We got more football flavor leaking into the Hoop Final Four as Glenville is making their first ever trip to state and did so from rallying from an early 14-2 deficit against Warrensville Heights. A lot of it begins and ends with 6'5 senior Xavier Vickerstaff, who's putting up big numbers to the tune of 15 and 8 per night and has 7 double-doubles on the year already. Junior guard Theo Castro sets the table for the Tar Blooders, averaging 4 assists and 2 steals, and will need to be locked in against a Hawken squad on the other side that is primed for their first trip to states as well. The Hawks got here after knocking off Jonathan Alder in the BG regional final, hanging on as freshman Ice Taylor put up big numbers to get Hawken to this spot. Division 2 Final Four preview. Welcome in, Cinderella. Massillon Perry brings the glass slipper to the state semifinals as the 13-13 have won 4 games in a row for just the second time all year, dancing their way here behind the play of senior Luke Wolf, who did a little bit of everything in the Elite 8 dub, scoring 8 points, but also had 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks as they held off Shaker Heights 57-43. Now awaiting them is 25-1 North Royalton, a team who hasn't lost in over 3 months and survived a late rally from New Albany in the regional finals to get here. Dylan Lakatos and Antonio Escano are 2 key players to watch for the Bears, who will face off with Perry at the Canton Fieldhouse on Sunday. And riding high and rolling in hot, Westerville North is here to play and here to stay. Now in Division 2, the Warriors have a real shot at their first state ring since 1994. Guards win in March, and the Ty Perkins, Micah Young, and Tyson Perkins trio is leading the Warriors to an average margin of victory of 44 points in the tournament so far. There's a serious chance Columbus gets its first Division 2 state title since 2013 Watterson did the same. But in their way is Toledo St. Francis DeSales, a senior-laden group that held off Winton Woods in an upset-heavy Elida regional. Junior forward Alan Horton and senior guard Jamison Heck are 2 keys for the Knights, who are dancing this far for the first time since 1983. 2 of Ohio's best talents are going head-to-head in this opening semifinal, as Jason Singleton and Max Joyner will be dueling it out in the Final Four as Columbus Academy takes on Summit Country Day at Wittenberg on Friday night. Singleton has been the talk of the Big Ten this season, garnering interest and offers from schools all across the Midwest as he's led the undefeated Vikings back to the Final Four for the first time since 1981. Freshman Max Joyner is going to be a star in his own right for Summit Country Day very soon and is already putting up crazy crazy numbers as a freshman, 14 points, 8 boards, and 2.5 blocks per game this season already. This will be one of the highest intrigue Final Four games all weekend long. Excited to take this one in. And Lutheran East, they know all about Big Ten offers and rising freshmen, as they feature a little bit of both in 4-star TJ Crumble and freshman sensation Dylan Ziegler. Crumble is averaging 23 points and 7 rebounds a game, while Ziegler is averaging 14 points per game. And they needed every bit of it from both of those guys to hold off two-time defending champ Richmond Heights in the regional final. That 1-2 punch might just be enough to win them a state title. There is no overlooking Minford, whose 1-2 punch of Brett Kaiser and Miles Montgomery are a load to handle in themselves. The Falcons are defensive minded and showed just that in their regional final win, holding Chesapeake to just 2 field goals in the second half of the 55-40 win. Another sport, another Marion local Final Four. You guessed it, buddy. The Flyers are once again in a 270 TikTok because of what their hot play has done during that win and go home season. And this time it's on the back of big man Austin Niekamp, who had a game high 17 in their regional final win over Anna, a 58-43 win that gets them back to the Final Four for the first time since their 2018 title run back in Division 4 in the old 4 division set. And on the other side is a red hot Colonel Crawford team that has been playing some of its best basketball as of late. The Eagles are 25-1 and avenged their only loss of the year in the district finals. Payne DeGray is the difference maker, as he had the game sealing dunk to hold off Lima Central Catholic in the regional final to go along with his 11 point and 7 rebounds in the win over the T-Birds. If Marion local wasn't enough football flavor for you, then welcome in Kirtland. The Hornets are in for their first Final Four appearance in hoop since 1991, and after a thrilling win over Dalton and Smithville in the Canton regional final and semifinal, running back turned guard Danny Alfieri made the big plays happen, hitting 2 big threes in the fourth quarter of the win against Dalton in the Elite Eight, take on Monroe Central, the ODU regional winner, who is 24-3 and has not lost in Ohio since the middle of January. The Seminoles could not seemingly miss in their regional final win, shooting 66% from the floor to 68-44 win over Beaver Eastern to clinch a spot for an Ohio Valley team for the first time since 2012, when St. Clairsville made it to the Final Four. Ohio's top scorer ever has his sights set on in the state title. Double tap and comment your picks, because there's going to be a couple major hurdles if Turtle Kwasniak wants to get another ring for his dad now at Cornerstone Christian. His dad, Babe, won a couple himself as a head coach at VASJ in the 2010s, and another one is 2 wins away from happening in D7, as Cornerstone will play the Jeeps of South Webster in a Final Four game on Friday night at Ohio Dominican. South Webster is led by senior Eli Roberts, who is averaging 21-6 on the season for his squad. It's 21-3 on the year, making their first Final Four appearance since they won it all back in 2006. The other side of this bracket hosts arguably the favorites in Division 7 and one of the best teams across the state, as the Russia Raiders are 27-0 and not a whole lot has stood in their way this season. Even regional final foe Botkins didn't have much of a chance against the Royal Blue and Yellow, falling 58-30 for the third time this season and helping the Raiders get back to a third straight Final Four. Their size in Division 7 is going to be a massive challenge for Arlington. The Red Devils know about the underdog role from their regional final win over Delphus St. John's, as defense dominated the day for Arlington in that upset, sparking a 21-3 second half run after trailing by double digits in the third quarter, thanks to the play of Calvin Willow, who had a game-high 22 points in the dub. Division 1 Final Four preview. The defending champs are back, because for the first time in history, 2 Columbus teams had a chance to make the D1 Final Four together, and they capitalized on that chance. Olentangy Orange and Reynoldsburg both punched their tickets with wildly different paths, but now the Pioneers' reward for their first ever regional title is a date with defending champion St. Ignatius at the Canton Fieldhouse. Devin Brown and Levi Davis have been an unstoppable duo this season, and Orange is undefeated inside the state of Ohio. Damon Frary is averaging 19 points and 8 boards per game for the Wildcats, who have been to the Final Four 3 times this decade now. On the other side, Reynoldsburg is new to the Final Four like Orange, and needed every single minute and then some, including 2 overtimes in their regional final win over Olentangy Liberty to make it. The Raiders are led by 4 D1 commits in Jordan Bowens, Jordan Fisher, Xavier McKinney, and Toby Nicolo, and will hope to find a faster start in this game than their last 3, where they've trailed at half in each. Lakota West is no slouch, and winners of 9 straight since the calendar turned to February, led by sophomore sensations Bryce Curry and Joshua Tyson. Wright State will host this clash on Sunday along with some other big time matchups.